Welcome back to Rising Phoenix Oracle. I am T the Oracle. Thank you for tuning in for another pick a card reading. So for today's reading, we'll go ahead and focus on what does your ex think about you? Okay, so let's go ahead and get to shuffling. What does your ex think about you? We'll go ahead and shuffle the cards a few more times here. What does your ex think about you? What does your ex think about you? Let's shuffle two more times. What does your ex think about you? One good time. What does your ex think about you? All right. Now, since this is a pick a card reading, go ahead and take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Whatever number appears in your mind's eye, 1, 2, or 3, that is the number that you go with. If you selected number 1, this is the card for you. What does your ex think about you? This card here, Ancient Wisdom. If you can see that without a glare. The funny thing is, the first thing that Spirit reveals to me with this card is the breakup may have been a little messy. It may have been a little complicated. You tend not to see things on the same level. Like, you may see things one way and your ex-partner saw things another way. And initially that may have been good. You know, the differences of what is what brought you two together. You know, a lot of times how they say opposites attract. However, sometimes that could be the same thing that could cause y'all to break up as well, just depending on as the relationship progresses, as you grow older, as you supposedly mature, as you experience the ongoings of life, you know, which causes you to develop, grow, learn, and gain wisdom, you will develop. And sometimes you do develop in different ways, and you grow in different ways. However, with this particular past relationship, even if your ex-partner does not admit it, some type of way, it seems as if they put you on a pedestal. And what I mean by that is, see, how can I explain it? Because there's so many messages coming to me and I want to explain it as plainly as I can. When I say put you on a pedestal, they think highly of you. They think that you are on a certain level, or you've learned certain things, or you do have a certain amount of wisdom. The thing that they liked about you was also the thing that annoyed them as well, because a lot of times they may have knew that you were right about a particular situation or whatever it is that was occurring. They knew that you were right. However, it's just like almost being like with a parent. Like, you know how a lot of times if you have good parents, you know, most of the time the parents are right because of experience and them just kind of understanding life and maturing and kind of going through some of the same things or similar things. They're able to kind of like see the bigger picture, as opposed to, you know, you being a younger teenager or a younger adult and you haven't really experienced life as of yet. Not to say that you don't have the wisdom and intuition to be able to navigate. However, there are just certain things that, you know, you could be able to avoid or get more clarity on from people who have experienced the same or something similar. Now, with that being said, your partner sees that they see that you have a lot of wisdom. They view you as like an old soul, but someone who makes good, sound decisions. But it's just giving parent vibe. And sometimes partners don't, you know, your partner may not want to be with someone who in the end is giving them like parent vibes. Because it's like, if I could explain that clearly, it's just, sometimes people don't want to be accountable for their actions. Sometimes they kind of want to slip and slide and kind of slip backwards and just kind of do what they want and kind of be free without the feeling of judgment. So not to say that you were actually judging them, but from the way that they viewed you and your wisdom and the things that you do and don't do and the mistakes or the caution that you take not to make certain mistakes. When they make a certain mistake, they feel as if, okay, they will be judged by you. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of comes from like, sometimes you feel that with your parents, especially growing up, you know, in certain mistakes that you made, your parents may reprimand you, or they may, dish out certain consequences to get you to steer you in a certain way so you won't continue to make the same mistake. And they feel like, being reprimanded by you, or not even just saying told you so. Sometimes you may say told you so, but just being in the presence of someone who makes pretty good sound decisions, and then you're the opposite, or you're the person who tends to bump their head, or who tends to learn the hard way, or likes to learn by experience instead of just being cautious and learning from example. Sometimes that type of person may feel judged, so that's to just kind of explain it in a nutshell. But how does your ex think about you? They think that you have a lot of wisdom. They think you have a lot of experience, and you typically make sound decisions. And it almost feels like they're not necessarily ready for that type of maturity in a relationship, or they want to, if this makes any sense, they want to freely make their mistakes without judgment. That's what it seems like. Like you're on this higher level or this higher pedestal, and they're just not there yet. And they're not ready to be there yet. You understand what I'm saying? So they feel as if you've reached a certain level, but they're just not there yet. And since they're not on that level, it just kind of doesn't work out between the two of you. And that's in their head. If you selected card 2, this is for you. This is the slow and steady card. So how does your ex feel about you? Okay, so particularly with this card, what I get from this card is, what's funny is, I feel like your ex-partner feels like on certain things where it was supposed to be clear as day to you, it just wasn't necessarily so. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's funny with people and in relationships, we tend to think that people are mind readers. They should know me. They should know how I feel. They should possibly, maybe, but that's not necessarily the case. We're two totally different people. When you're in a relationship, those are two individuals coming together to live a life together and share in different memories and accomplishments, and to at some point possibly build each other up, be a consort, enjoy life, just whatever. But you come together, two different individuals, two different lives coming together for a common goal or a purpose. And what's interesting is with your ex, they feel as if, they kind of feel that you're a procrastinator. They kind of feel that as if, certain things, when they want you to be able to make a decision, it was difficult for you to be able to do so. You know how you come across people, say for instance, you're talking to someone and they're trying to relay a message to you or tell a story, and you're kind of like, okay, come on with it. Like, okay, you're prolonging it, you're procrastinating, you're going, get to the point, okay, come on. It's almost, that's the feeling that your ex is giving about you. They're kind of like, okay, come with it. Like, everything for you is just kind of like a slow, steady pace. It's kind of like, you're the type of person that just kind of takes your time. And I feel like your ex-partner is a person that's kind of like, okay, let's get this done. Now, again, like I stated with the persons who select card at 1, I mean, the differences in a relationship, the difference in characteristics and personality can bring you two together because it can balance things out. However, it can also be the things that drive you apart. So depending on the situations that you go through, the problems, the issues in the relationships that may arise, the differences may drive a wedge between you two or bring you together. So in this case, it more than likely drove a wedge between the two because it showed how different the two of you handle situations. things weren't just moving along as smoothly and progressively as the ex would have liked it. Your ex feels like there were certain things that were petty or small that you could have let slide, but you blew them out of proportion. They feel as if the things that were blown out of proportion were actually minimal things. So it's like the things that you should have been focusing on, you didn't. And the things you focused on, you really shouldn't. You put it under a microscope, if that makes sense. That's the energy that I'm getting from this card, and that's what Spirit is revealing. If you're saying that's how much you get from this card, slow and steady, but that's what Spirit is revealing to me in regards to what your ex thinks about you. So that's very interesting. If you selected card 3, this is for you. Changes, okay? Now, I see a couple different things going on with this. How does your ex feel about you? The ex feels like with the relationship, it feels like there was always a transition or always a point of something going on. Once y'all got out of this issue, here comes something else. The ex feels like there was just kind of like not enough period of rest, or not too many periods of enjoyment. Like, the ex would have liked for their, you know how you weigh your pros and cons, or you look back at a relationship, whether it's romantic or not, or platonic, you just kind of look at the good and the bad. You outweigh the good times versus the bad times. However, the ex, in looking at this, they tend to interpret all of the changes that the relationship went through as a negative. So it's like the negative outweighed the positive, because it's like, damn, here goes something else. Dang, here goes something else. Like, can we just ever have a period where we just kind of like at peace in a relationship, or nothing's really going on? But it feels like this relationship thrived off things going on. I don't want necessarily to say drama. Not necessarily drama. It's not to that extent, but it's just like something always had to be going on. And when it was peaceful, it's like, okay, what's about to happen? What's about to come around the corner? Okay. And then I also feel a person who may have had a difficult relationship previously or prior to this past relationship that caused one of the people in the relationship to always kind of look over their shoulder, or always kind of examining things quickly, or looking for the other shoe to drop, or, you know, looking for something that's not even there. And that's what I'm getting from this. You know, the ex is saying a lot of times you look for something that wasn't even there. And then after a period of time, you keep looking for something ain't there. The other person's like, damn, I just might as well make it there, because that's what you keep saying. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of things going on in this relationship, a lot of changes, ups and downs, transitions. The ex just felt like it wasn't enough peaceful times, or a time of peace. And when I say peaceful times, not to say y'all didn't have times where you enjoyed each other, laugh, you know, intimacy, different things like that, but a period of rest. That's what I mean, a period of rest. Because, you know, in any person's life, whether you're in a relationship or not, there's a period of ongoings, and then there's a stable period or a period of rest. Or even at the crossroads, where you kind of like at the crossroad, ready to make a decision, or maybe to go backwards or to go forward, or whatever it is, but it's just a period of rest. Okay. And this person feels like there wasn't enough periods of time of rest or crossroad or anything to enjoy fully what was going on in the relationship. It just felt like it was just a relationship full of changes and ups and downs. And I don't know, maybe the two of you just weren't compatible. Maybe you were just better as friends, or maybe you need some time apart to be able to grow and mature and then come back. You may want to do a deeper reading on that, so contact me for that. But that's how your ex feels. All right. So hopefully this kind of gave y'all a little bit of insight into how your ex thinks about you. If you want a more in-depth reading, a more personal, intuitive reading to get down to the nitty-gritty, go ahead and click the link in my bio, and it'll also be posted in the description box as well as in the comment section. Peace.